What's going on, everybody? Cowboy C3. Hey, sorry about the delay. Man, life caught up with me. I had a whole lot more cooking than I thought I had to do. But anyway, we're gonna cook right now. Talk about these Cowboys and Giants tomorrow on Thanksgiving Sunday. I mean Thursday, excuse me. Thanksgiving Thursday. Let's talk about it right now. Cowboys spit.
Here we go! Yeah, here we go! Wait, take
Cowboys spit.
Throws back of the end zone. There's CeeDee Lamb.
What's going on, everybody? Cowboy C3. We in the building, man. Late night C3 tonight. Actually early in the morning. But we can talk about it. Cowboys versus Giants tomorrow. Thanksgiving Thursday, 3:30. Cowboys right now are a 4-point favorite. Sounds like that's pretty fair. The Giants have been on a struggle bus, and they just let go of their quarterback, man. It's kind of a strange situation. I mean, it's been kind of a strange situation for them all year. It started in the offseason when you decided that you were going to let, probably not even probably your best player that you had in a long, long time. You decided you were going to let him walk and kind of, lean on your quarterback, lean on Daniel Jones and see, where that's going to lead you. And I know for a fact that they didn't think week 13 that he would be in Minnesota. I know they didn't think that. Well, they basically sent him down to be the emergency quarterback, and a lot of people thought Drew Lock was going to get the nod after him, but it wasn't Drew Lock. It's Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito started last game, and it was not pretty. They took a humongous L, and there was a lot of things that happened with within the organization. Excuse me, my phone was ringing, but a lot of things happening in the organization where some turnover was bound to happen, but not in the middle of the season. And Daniel Jones, they paid Daniel Jones a lot of money to, go in, play quarterback, and do some things for him. They trusted him to lead the team, and he just didn't do a good job of it. So Tommy DeVito will be the starter, possibly. He's questionable for the game. We'll get into the injury report in a minute. If not, Drew Lock will be the quarterback tomorrow. Drew Lock is a little bit concerning. He is, because if you catch Drew Lock the week after his first start that he come, whenever he gets an opportunity, that first start when he comes out, he did it in Seattle, did it in Denver. That first start that he has after he's been benched or he's, the second team quarterback moving up to the first team, that first start he always plays a big game. Huge game. And it's the second and third starts after that where he starts to get comfortable, where he starts, doing Drew Lock things. But that's a little concerning. Malik Neighbors this week, very, very vocal, especially after the game, about not getting the football. He said he wasn't getting the football. They didn't get the football. He didn't get a catch, and he didn't, if you go back and look at it, didn't get a catch till after the Giants were down 30-0. And he was very upset about that, very vocal about it. And then he had a meeting with his head coach, Brian Dable, and the offensive coordinator. And he said, even after the meeting, like, hey, man, like, I know I'm a rookie, and I know rookies aren't supposed to say anything. He said, but hey, you brought me here to make a difference in football games, and you getting me the ball and not getting me the ball until we down 30-0 is not helping this football team. I'm here to help the team. And, right now, he's their best player. And, for a second there, 3-4 weeks, he was right in that offensive rookie of the year conversation, but he couldn't get it going. You know what I mean? And he couldn't get it going because they just weren't getting him the football. And, a lot of that is probably on the quarterback, and then DeVito last week didn't have a good game, and he's questionable this week with an injury. If not, Drew Lock is going to go. But Drew Lock will get him the ball. He will, and that's a little bit concerning for the Cowboys. Cowboys come in with a 20th ranked offense. You see the stats right there: pass for 2,647 yards this year, run for 908. On defense, they're ranked 27th in the NFL, giving up 2,414 passing yards, 1,655 rushing yards. As you see down here, the Giants a little bit worse off, a little bit more balanced though. They run the ball okay. 24th ranked offense, 2067 passing, 1275 rushing, but 19 defense, 2136, and they've given up 1627 on the run. So about the same. You can run the ball on this football team, and hopefully tomorrow is just a carbon copy of the game that they played in Washington. Despite the goofs, you understand what I'm saying? Especially, the blown coverage of Terry McLaurin, things like that. I take another kickoff return. Turpin is an animal, man. But you have an opportunity tomorrow to break this streak. You haven't won a home game since you haven't won home. The losing streak started last season with Green Bay in the playoffs, and you know, not only have you been losing at home, you've been getting blown out at home. The game this year, 28-25 against Baltimore, that's not an indication. The score is not an indication of what happened in that game. Anybody that saw that game knows the Cowboys got that ass whooped. That's what happened. Derrick Henry went bananas on them, made them, really, 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 regret the fact that you couldn't come up with the money to sign him. So, the Giants coming off a blowout loss of their own. They're 2-7, not very good, not very good football team at all. But they do play hard, and we'll talk about that in a second. I just don't. I don't see the Giants coming here on Thanksgiving and beating the Cowboys. I just don't see that. Not Thanksgiving Day. I mean, there's a lot of weird things going on here around the city, especially with this football team. So tomorrow, it's already come up more than once. 3:30 game, afternoon game, going into the evening. Sun drops around here about 5:30 ish. It's gonna be right in those windows again. I want to see what they do. I want to see if he puts some curtains up tomorrow. I'm interested to see that. I doubt that he does. I do. I doubt that he does. And I'm talking about Jerry. I doubt that there's any curtains up. I think he likes that view from where he's sitting, the sun shining down on the field. Probably, looks appeasing to him, but it's not appeasing to the players. People have already been talking about it. This is that type of game, that afternoon game that gives players fits, because no matter what, you're going to be looking directly into the sun, or you're going to turn around and look for the ball, and the first thing that's going to hit your eyes is the sun. Dark visors tomorrow. I'm telling you, that'll probably save you. I'm going to these injury reports for the Cowboys. It's a lengthy one, but it looks like a lot of players are going to be able to go. So Jake Ferguson is out still. He's not going to be able to go. Trayvon Diggs is a possibility he could be back. He's still questionable. He practiced Monday, didn't practice on Tuesday, and that may have been a rest day. And he limited practice, yesterday. He should be okay. I mean, and if he's not, right, Butler played an excellent game at the corner last week. He didn't play bad at all. Zach Martin's going to be out. I just don't see Zach Martin. I don't know if he's going to be back this season. But TJ Bass, Hoffman filled in for him. TJ Bass filled in for Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith looked like he's going to get a go for it. But Bass and Hoffman last week, man, I went back and and looked at some film of them playing, man. Hey, they played tough football, hitting all their assignments, leading running backs through holes, pulling guards. Zach Martin hadn't pulled in about 10 years. You know what I mean? But just things that, the older players couldn't do, right? The young guys came in. Hoffman came in, leading Rico down around the corner. Had Cooper Beebe pulling from the center spot, and Hoffman filling the hole. TJ Bass filling the vacancy where he left from. and Cooper Beebe leading running back around the corner. It was a beautiful thing last week. A beautiful thing last week. And I'm hoping for a carbon copy this week. Nick Vigil's going to be questionable as well. Marshawn Nealon, he was on the sideline last week. He was dressed, but still no practice this week. I'm sure he'll be dressed out, but he's doubtful for the game. We'll go to the Giants. Giants injury report is much shorter. Biggest one going to be Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito is questionable. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Tay Banks is also questionable as well. And looks like the offensive, one of the offensive linemen are going to be out. So, the Giants are coming in, they'll be pretty healthy. They're not going to be. I think DeVito really needs an opportunity just to be able to get the swing of things and get comfortable. With his injury, he's not going to get that opportunity. And if Drew Lock comes in and plays well, Drew Lock he'll be the starter from now on. But the Giants are a struggling football team. They live on defense. They create a lot of pressure. Kayvon Thibodeau and company, they create a lot of pressure. But last week, that pressure just wasn't there. It wasn't there at all. And I know there's probably, some focus things going on with the team, but man, this is one of those games where the Cowboys have an opportunity, a humongous opportunity to end this streak at home, finally get a 2-win streak on the season. And because you got a tough Bengals team coming in next week whose record doesn't show how good that they are, but you need to build some momentum. And this is one of those games where you can build that momentum. Malik Neighbors, of course, is tough, and Jalen Hyatt, the speed burner, they try to get him the ball at the best that they possibly can. They just haven't done a good job at it. Defensively, their defensive lineman, Dexter Lawrence, Dexter Lawrence is always going to give you problems, no matter what. Play tough defensive line play, especially with Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau, is an outside linebacker. They run kind of a 3-4 hybrid defense, and they try to create pressure off the edge. They try to do things to kind of break him free. These guys are going to have to, you have to get your hands on them. Last week, Terrence Steele played the best football game that he's played since, 23 when he tore his ACL? That's the best game that he's played. What's up, man? They're going to be all right. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Danny. We'll see how they do tomorrow, man. I'm hoping that they come out, man, and they just run the football, play good defense like they did last week. And the way you can do it is run the ball, take some time off the clock, keep your defense on the sideline, keep them well rested, and just play football. Try not to get, a bunch of 3-and-outs. I know the offense sometimes, and they're doing a good job of just getting the ball out of Cooper Rush's hands. Everything's close and, to the line of scrimmage. Last week, CeeDee Lamb had 10 catches, but only had 67 yards. And that's fine. That's fine. Continue to play like that. That's cool. As long as it's working and as long as you're running the football. And I think these young offensive linemen came in and they gave you a little boost, right? They got fresh legs, Zach Martin was struggling in football games, and maybe Terrence Steele was struggling from that because trying to, pick up the slack from Zach Martin. Don't know the answer to it, but I tell you what, he looked a whole lot better last week. You know what I mean? I like what I see from Josh Butler too, but I tell you what, if I also like what I see from Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis played a hell of a football game last week. So it's good to have corners like that because if Trayvon Diggs comes back tomorrow, Josh Butler would probably go to the bench, but he would still rotate in, because you still got Bland. Bland came back. Bland played a hell of a game last week. Terry McLaurin up until the big catch, and that was Jordan Lewis was on that side. Then I think Deron Bland only gave up like 2 catches for like 17 yards, something like that. He looked excellent last week. And that's what I'm saying. You're starting to get some of these players back from these injuries. We hadn't heard anything about anything. So Trayvon Diggs got to go. So that's funny because nobody said that a year ago before he got hurt. You weren't saying Trayvon Diggs got to go because he was the one that was leading the league in interceptions. and he was the one that was playing well. Dude is a year off of an ACL injury. It's not going to be 100%. He's probably running around right now at 85%. But Trayvon Diggs at 85% is better than half the quarterbacks in the NFL. So, no, Trayvon Diggs don't need to go. Trayvon Diggs just needs to get healthy. He'll be better next year. This year was always going to, no doubt it was going to be a struggle because he's coming off a major knee injury. Got to get healthy. You know what I'm saying? And it'll get better. I don't know about that. Josh Butler played one good football game, and you ready to cut Trayvon Diggs and keep Josh Butler. I don't know about that. That's an interesting take. Tomorrow, the Cowboys offensive line, if Tyler Smith can go, Tyler Smith will be at the left tackle. At the left guard. Tyler Guyton, not so sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll be on the short leash next week. I mean, this week as well. He's got to learn. He has to learn. He's been struggling. He's been struggling with penalties. I know last week he had a phantom holding penalty. You could tell it frustrating. They took him out of the game. They put Richards in the game, and Richards played well, but they put Tyler Guyton back in the game because Tyler Guyton has to learn. He has to learn how to be the left tackle of this football team. He's a first-round draft pick. He is going to get every single opportunity to be the starting left tackle of this football team. You have to maximize your opportunities. And tomorrow, Giants got good defensive ends. You're probably going to line up on Thibodeau all day. You're going to have to put your hands on him. Don't hold him. Put your hands on him and keep him away from Cooper Rush. Give Cooper Rush time to throw. I also think that a good running game again tomorrow will give Cooper Rush time to throw. It will definitely give him time to throw. We're not going to the playoffs. That's not going to happen. We won a game against a good Washington team. Congratulations. We beat two good teams this year. We also beat the Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns are not a good football team, but we beat Pittsburgh, right? We beat good football teams. We can put it together every now and then. But for us to win out, you're going to have to beat some really good teams. You still got to beat Philly. You got the Bengals coming in next week. It's a high-powered offense. Their defense sucks, right? But it's a high-powered offense, a very high-powered offense. Washington's going to be looking for some get back. If you're going to make the playoffs, if the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs, they're going to have to win out the rest of these games. And I just don't see that happening. I don't. Tampa Bay is another good football team. I think they come in here sometime in December. They run the ball exceptionally well, and Baker Mayfield is playing like a man on fire. Baker Mayfield is hot right now, super hot, without both of his starting wide receivers. Hot. And I don't know if the Cowboys can stop that run game. Bucky Irvin, another dude the Cowboys should have gotten in the draft. Bucky Irvin, and those guys over there, man, they are running the football. Excellent. Baker Mayfield is keeping them in football games or winning football games. He's running, throwing, doing whatever it takes to win football games, and he looks good doing it. Looks excellent doing it. So going to the playoffs, I don't know, Danny. That's going to be tough. Tough. But, weirder things have happened. I'll tell you that. So tomorrow, what can the Cowboys do to win this football game? Excuse me. What can they do to win this football game? So offensively, first thing they need to do is run the football. Just run it. Get Rico into a rhythm and run the football. It keeps Cooper Rush clean. It's just what it does. You saw last week, he got sacked once, but he got sacked in the fourth quarter. 3 quarters, they didn't even get a pressure, right? And then they lucked up and got a sack in the fourth quarter. Run the football. It helps with play action pass. It opens up your passing lanes. It opens up a whole lot of things because they have to respect the run. They have to. Number 2, just play clean. Limit the penalties as much as you possibly can, especially the holding penalties, the stupid false start penalties, the 12 men on the field penalties, just dumb penalties they've been committing all year long. Keep the penalties to a minimum. And number 3 is let CeeDee Lamb eat. He is going to have multiple opportunities tomorrow to eat. Feed him the football. He's the best player on the offensive side of your football, probably the best player on your team right now. Get him the ball however you got to get it to him. If you want to run him on some of those jet sweeps, that's fine. You want to line him up in the backfield, that's fine. Do what you got to do. But get CeeDee Lamb the ball tomorrow and let him eat. And I promise you, good things will happen. Defensively, just stop the run. Stop the run, pressure the quarterback, and don't get any stupid penalties again. Just keep the penalties down to a minimum, right? And a lot of penalties come with focus, right? Just focus, staying in the game, knowing your assignments, and doing what you got to do. They played excellent last week against two solid running backs stopping the run. Giants don't have anything like that. Stop them from running the football. Make whoever it is a quarterback, whether it's Drew Lock or it's Tommy DeVito, make them one-dimensional, right? Make them, and so you can get these, Micah Parsons right now, hot. He's hot. Let him get in some situations where he can just pin his ears back and get after these quarterbacks, whoever it is. It don't matter who it is. Get after him, put some pressure on him, make him throw some errant passes, make him throw some interceptions. Make him do it. Make him do it. Golden opportunity. I'm looking forward for tomorrow because I am ready for them to break this 0-for streak at home. Jared and lowered these tickets where you can get a seat down in the third deck for $54. You can get $54 tickets right now because last couple of weeks ago when they played Houston on the Monday night game, it was only 56,000 people in the stadium. And that stadium says 110,000. Yeah, 56,000 in there. Jared don't like that. So I'll lower these tickets, but y'all finna come in here and buy this beer. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make some money some kind of way. But it's gonna be packed in there tomorrow. It's gonna be loud in there tomorrow, and let's make something happen. If we did something, what we did to the Commanders, do the rest of the team for the rest of the teams in our league. I believe we can do it tomorrow. There's going to be some teams that we play. Look, you have an opportunity again the week after, you get a 10-day rest, right? So you should get everybody healthy. Everybody should be coming back around that time, except for maybe Zach Martin and DeMarcus Lawrence. But when you play the Bengals in 10 days after tomorrow, their defense is one of the worst, if not the worst in the NFL. They don't stop the pass or the run. So you have an opportunity. Slow it down, run the football. The rest of you just gonna have to take it as it comes. I think that the blueprint was laid against Washington. I do believe that's how this team needs to execute. I do believe that. I believe that's the blueprint that the team needs to execute, even if Dak was the quarterback. Same way, run the damn ball. If you don't feel comfortable with the running backs that you have, get some more. You can get them in the offseason. Do whatever you got to do. But right now, this is the roster that you got. Run the damn football. That's all you got to do. You run the football, establish a running game, hit some play action passes, maybe take a deep shot or two. Good things will happen. If we do the same thing with the Commanders, we do the rest of the teams that are in the league. Yeah, we just talked about that. I don't know why that comment came up twice. But, yeah, I believe, like I said, I believe the blueprint was laid. This is how this team needs to operate. It keeps the defense fresh because the defense is always pretty decent up until halftime. The third quarter is what's killed the Cowboys the entire season. Last week, I know I was nervous, and I know you guys were probably nervous too. Third quarter, I was getting phone calls. Here comes the third quarter. Here comes the third quarter. Oh, no, here comes the third quarter. And the third quarter came and went, and we still had the lead. And that's a good thing. And it happened like that because it's your defense, excuse me, your offense kept your defense off the field as much as possible. And they were fresh, and they were flying to the football. These linebackers, man, I've been saying it all season. I don't have a problem with these linebackers, and this shows you if you have good defensive line play, if you guys are playing well defensively, especially on your defensive line, Marshawn Nealon, Chauncey Golston, all these guys are playing well. Hell, even Mozzie Smith I saw Mozzie Smith make a few tackles last week, getting penetration, making tackles. As long as your defensive line can keep these linebackers clean and let them run around, man, they fast. Overshown fast. Lou Fowl fast. Eric Kendricks is everywhere. Hell, they even had Donovan Wilson last week looking like the old Donovan Wilson. Like, it looked good. It looked really good. Just keep it up. Keep it up. Sustain the superior performance. Sustain it. Keep it going. And good things will happen. I believe I could fly. Jeff, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm up here late, man. I've been in the kitchen cooking all kinds of things, man. I didn't think we were gonna have Thanksgiving dinner here tomorrow, but shit is happening, so we can do it. Our running backs fast and fast as rocket. Okay, so I am a really, really, really big, firm, whatever you want to call it, believer of let Deuce Vaughn come in and just do something. Give him an opportunity. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? This is the perfect opportunity to see what you got. And it could be, right? It could be, even if you're not going to keep him, you're giving him an audition for another team for next season. Give him an opportunity. Don't just give him 1 or 2 carries and take him out. Give him a couple carries. Run off tackle with him. You don't have to run right up the middle. The dude is little, man. Them defensive tackles weigh twice as much as he does. Twice as much as he does. Give him some off tackle. Give him some sweeps. You know, throw him some screen passes. I saw him throw a few screen passes last week to running backs. Put Deuce in the game and let him do his thing. Deuce Vaughn and Minnie Mouse is too little. Okay, so Darren Sproles wasn't too little, was he? They're the same size. It's not that he's too little. You just don't know how to use him. Go back to the San Diego Chargers when they played in Qualcomm Stadium back in the day when Phillip Rivers was the quarterback, and they would bring Darren Sproles in the game and just toss him the ball out of the backfield. Everybody go deep and just put him one-on-one with a linebacker and let him do his thing. That's how you use him. So, yeah, he is small, but he's got opportunities to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just give him a shot. Give him a shot. Hell, Mike McCarthy know this, man. Draw the play up in the dirt. Just say, hey, everybody go deep. Deuce, you swing out to the right and get him the football. I don't want to play. My playing days are over, big dog. I'm done. Now that I have not played, I haven't played tackle football, man, in probably like 7 or 8 years. And shit, I don't even think I can take a hit no more. And I was one of them dudes that y'all ever seen that dude on TikTok to be talking about them 37U things. I was one of those dudes. I was the 37U dude, man. And you always walking around hurt. Man, I'm not trying to feel that no more. It's fun to watch, though. Don't get me wrong. Because right now, you know, in the area, we're running into, you know, Texas high school football. We're running into, like, things around the quarterfinals for playoff games, man. And there's some really, really good matchups this week, especially Saturday night. But can't even go to it, man, because Texas play Texas A&M. Shit, I'm going to be right in front of TV watching that, boy. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a hell of a game. Hell of a game. It's been so long. It's been since I was in high school, maybe a couple of years into the Navy when I was a few years into the Navy when A&M, they haven't played in so long. Like, this game is gonna be crunk. Everybody was trying to, I knew a lot of people that were trying their best to get tickets because the game's in College Station. It's probably about 3 hours away. Trying to get to College Station. The average ticket price for the game is for Texas A&M. Good night, my brother. You have a good night. Make sure you watch this game tomorrow. You know it's gonna be good, bro. You know it's gonna be good. Bro, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on here, man. We always have good conversations, man. Thank you so much for coming. Have a good night, my brother, and happy Thanksgiving. The average price for Texas A&M, I think, is $1,100 a ticket. $1,100. That's the average price for a ticket. We can do one. Just hit me up, man. Send me a message. We can talk about it. We can do it for sure. Had a couple people talk about they want to do a show, man. I'm always down to do it, because especially with Cowboy fans, because I can talk Cowboys all day. I can. So I'm always down to do that. But yeah, $1,100 for a football game. That shit is crazy. And there's another opportunity, man. As long as everything goes the way it goes, it looks like Texas and SMU play, in the playoffs. As long as SMU can win and shit, as long as Texas can win too. Texas got, they're gonna play 2 tough games. They got an in-state rivalry, a big rivalry, their biggest rivalry coming up Saturday. And then that would, if they win, that would spring them right into the SEC championship game against a team that whooped their ass earlier in the season. So, how it goes. But anyway, back to tomorrow. My prediction tomorrow, the score will be 24-10 Dallas. I think they come in. I think they handle their business. I think they run the football. I think they play good defense. I think Mike McCarthy makes some timely calls. I think you get some more special team help. You know what I mean? I think I think they realize what they need to do. A lot of talk around here about Cowboys need to go ahead and sign Kevontae Turpin right now. It's tough to have that kind of request for a special teams player, but that dude is special, man. He puts special in special teams. He is a special dude. Best kick returner in NFL right now. For sure. For sure. I don't know anybody that's better. Dude is lightning in a bottle. Always got the opportunity to break one off. So 24-10 tomorrow on Thanksgiving, 3:30, right here in old Jerry's world. We're going to have, sun in people's eyes and all types of shit tomorrow, man. This is going to be fun. I promise it's going to happen. Bro, if Jerry put up some curtains, man, maybe he's listening, but I highly doubt that there's any curtains. He put up curtains for that boxing match, but he ain't putting up curtains for no football game. I'm going to tell you that now. All right. Tomorrow, right after the game, we going live. I might have a plate of turkey. I'm going to have a house full of people. It might be loud in here, but we going live and we going to celebrate this Cowboy victory. We going to do it. I'm speaking it to existence right now. So tomorrow, right after the game, we'll go live. We'll celebrate this victory. Everybody have a happy, 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 safe Thanksgiving tomorrow. Eat you some turkey, eat you some dressing, stuffing, whatever you call it, some sweet potatoes, all that stuff, man. And you guys have a great time with your family and your friends. Make sure you eat good. Make sure you watch this football game and go Cowboys. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow right after the game. Look forward to seeing you. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, y'all. Peace out.